Hello everyone and welcome into Speaking of Diamonds. My name is Rich and today I have some new artwork from the Diamond Design Co. I thought let's go ahead and unbox it and take a look here. This is the set called Precious Pets, and it looks like there's going to be 3 images and each one is a 30 by 30 centimeter square. And if you've never purchased from the Diamond Design Co. before, a little bit about the company. Amy started off offering minis, like mini kits, sort of like this, has recently started offering larger canvases. And let me tell you, the quality is impeccable. And if it's not, Amy's going to fix it. So if you ever get a canvas or a set of canvases from the Diamond Design Co., Amy is going to take care of you if there is a legitimate problem. So let's go ahead and get into this. So first of all, she has this really nice job of having a box like this that is sort of like a nice size to sit on your shelf and to blend in with your other diamond paintings. And it's not, super small that it can get, fall behind somewhere and get lost behind some diamond paintings and stuff. So I do like the size of the box and the shape of the box. So you have the image on the top of the box here. And for the most part, it's just a plain box. There's no instructions, anything like that, just especially for you. So let's go ahead and get into this. Now, I know that in the past, I've said that, I really do prefer larger diamond paintings, and it still is the case. But I'm going to tell you something. The more that I work with diamond paintings, large diamond paintings, the more I start to need a little bit of a break. Whether it's I need a break in color palette, a break from wonky drills, whatever the case may be. And these fit the bill perfectly because I could take this out and typically finish these within a couple diamond painting sessions sitting down at my diamond painting desk. So I am starting to, especially things like the super minis, like the 4x6 ones, those are maybe a little too small for me. I don't, it just seems like it's not worth the effort almost, but these 30 by 30s are a nice size. So let's go ahead and get into this and show you how this comes. So first of all, you're going to have a toolkit. So one of the things that I've seen a lot of people say online is these mini kits are a great way to get people into diamond painting, and even like the smaller ones. But you have someone who's like, oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I want to try diamond painting. This is a great thing to give them so that they can give it a try. And what's nice about this is you get a toolkit that's going to have everything in it that you need to start diamond painting. But Diamond Design Co.'s is just a little bit, what's the word? A little bit nicer, a little bit more complete. Not complete, but nicer, I guess, than some of the typical pink pen ones you have. So let's go ahead and start with some of the real basics. We have a nice a white tray with a nice stopper. Okay, and then we have we have a multi-placer here. This looks like, usually there's 2 multi-placers. Let me just make sure. No, I don't see one. This looks like maybe a 7, and then you have a straightener and a pair of metal tweezers, very sharp. And then you have this sort of offset pen that is supposed to be very ergonomically correct. And it has a space on the opposite side that you can put your multi-placer. So the person can start diamond painting with this and decide if they like this. If not, maybe you can share with them one of the pink pens or turn them on to something a little bit more customized to them for pen. And then it comes with this diamond painting putty. And this putty is substantial. There's you get a nice brick of putty here. And the putty, this is quite good. I don't mind this putty. For an introductory, piece in a box, it's amazing. It's certainly better than wax, in my opinion. I'm a putty person, but even if you are a putty person, try it. Or I'm sorry, a wax person, try it and see, because, like I said, it's pretty good wax or putty. All right, then the nice thing here is we have our 3 canvases, and all of the drills are packaged separately. So let me go ahead and get this box down. So the nice thing is, if you wanted to, these are great for travel. If you wanted to travel somewhere, you can grab and go. Let me grab the packet of drills I need, the canvas that I'm going to work on, and then, quite honestly, slip it into your carry-on, slip it into your suitcase, whatever you need to do, and you can go. We'll get more into that in a second. Let's go ahead and see what the supporting documentation is in the box here. So we have a Diamond Design Co. Paper. This has our images on it, so if we wanted to cut this out and put it into a logbook, and then it just gives you some instructions on how to diamond paint. So again, if this is a gift for someone new to diamond painting, they have a little bit of guidance there. And then we have 2 things that look strikingly similar. However, this is your inventory sheet. So you can see what you need to, what you should have, but then you also have your sticker sheet. So you can, if you're going to kit these up into something, you could put them on your baggies, or you could put them onto your containers. But if you were traveling, you could also just bring this, which is a little bit easier, in my opinion, to travel with, because you can fold it up and stuff, and you're not going to deal with stickers starting to peel off and stuff like that. So depending on how you're going to use the kit, you have 2 different alternatives there. So really nice that that's included. There's also, since this is sticker paper, these pictures are much more vibrant, so I would probably cut these out and put these into any logbook that I have. But you have a couple options there. So let's go ahead and take a look at Amy's canvases. And I'm just going to roll this backwards, and it's going to come out pretty flat there, and it will continue to flatten as it sits. So these are from, the artist here is Kristin Block. You may also know her online as Whiskey Witch. And she's with a couple of different stores, and she's with Amy's store here. And these are based on some of her own photographs. So here we have the puppy, the little puppy image. So Amy's canvases, first of all, nice soft backing. They are poked and scalloped along the edge to help prevent fraying. At the top, we just have a very discreet, the Diamond Design Co. We have the artist down here and the name of the kit with the size. So these are all 30 by 30, and they are squares, as I mentioned before. The plastic here, this is like the perfect weight of plastic. I know that there's a lot, I'm very particular about my plastic, and I know some people are like, I could care less about what the plastic is like. But if you care about what the plastic is, and when I say that I care about it, why do I care about it? The way that I diamond paint typically, and this can work, for the way that anybody diamond paints, is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to expose a row. And then I'm going to come in with my release papers and put my release papers down, and then I come back and I usually put a piece of washi tape along where the edge is so that I can see where the plastic ends. And then I'm going to come through with my seam ripper and take off this plastic. That way I sort of always have a flat area here. I don't have the plastic flopping around. But what's nice about it is, on the thinner plastic, sometimes they start to curl up. Sometimes, and when you're doing that, it sounds like you're getting into a bag of chips or something. Like, it's a very annoying crinkly sound. So here, that crinkly sound is really minimized because there's a nice I would say medium weight plastic, so it's quite nice. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the symbols here, and let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer. It's about as close as I'm going to get, but I'm looking at the symbols here, super clear. Definitely, they do a good job at making sure that darker colors have the lighter white ink, and then the lighter colors have the dark ink. That just makes it so much easier to read the symbols. So notice that the canvases are small, so you don't have a legend on the canvas. So that's why your inventory sheet or your legend sheet here is going to come in handy. Or you're just going to have your drills that you have. You're going to have your drills in your packets that you can use without the stickers, and I'll show you that. No, you know what? You can't. You cannot. I take that back. You need to have your conversion sheet there. So let's see. This is how we're going to be able to tell the difference between, let's see, 991, 992, 993. Okay, so here's how we're going to tell what drills go with what. So here we have the puppy. We find the puppy on either the sticker sheet or the inventory sheet, and it's going to tell us that this is 99-3. So here on your drills, you have the code of the painting, and you're just going to match that up. So this is 993, this is 992, and 991. So this is the packet of drills that are going to go with the puppy. So at this point, let's go ahead and talk drills. So these are not all special drills. We have some, it looks like we have a crystal and maybe some dust drills here, but look at how nicely these are packed. And again, I spend a lot of time talking about this sometimes in my reviews and unboxings, because I'm a firm believer that the looser your drills are packaged, the more opportunity your drills have to develop static, because you have plastic drills rubbing against plastic bags in another plastic bag. And if that's moving during transit, you're going to have, it's going to just naturally develop static. Think about, when you're a kid and you rubbed the balloon on your head and then stuck it to the wall because you created static. That's essentially what's happening here. But you can see here we have a pretty, I'll say a muted but very earth tone palette here, which makes sense since two of the images are outside. This is the kittens, and we'll take a look at the other images in just a second. But this is the kitten, so you can see we have some less neutral colors, less outdoor colors. So you have some pinks and some blues and some purples down here. So I'll take a look at the drills in just a second, but let's take a look at these other images here. And again, I'm just going to roll this backwards. So these are all poured glue, so you don't need to be super finicky with protecting the glue if it was a double-sided adhesive. But here we have our two kittens laying here on a blanket with their little cat toys here. Sun's coming in the window. Really nice, lazy Saturday or Sunday type picture with the kittens. So that's certainly going to be very peaceful to work on. Then you have this beautiful horse. And one thing to know about Kristin, first of all, she owns horses, and she has them. I don't know that she has them raced. Maybe she does, but she owns horses, and she's got a number of beautiful horses and a beautiful, I'm going to say a horse farm. I don't know if technically it's a farm or what, but a really nice area to have the horses kept in. So this is a really pretty maybe I'm looking at the picture. It looks like maybe morning or afternoon because the sun seems to be coming in at an angle. And you have this beautiful white horse here with a nice white mane, and just a little bit of darker colors when you get into the flanks and stuff like that. So again, a really nice, this would be nice to do one of those winter days that you're longing for spring or summer. This to me says spring or summer. And then finally we have the puppy. This is probably my favorite because I'm a puppy person or dog person. But another interesting fact about Kristin is she is a judge for dog shows. So she goes and travels all over the world to, you know, decide who wins best in show and stuff like that in the dog world. So here we have this little, I don't know, what is this, a basset hound maybe? In a little tiny guy because the grass is coming up to his chest here. So it's really sort of cute. And you have the fence in the background that seems to be keeping his buddy the horse in, maybe, you know, so it sort of ties the two together. So again, these could be, this could be a nice springtime, you know, I want to do it in the winter, what have you, type image. Again, I'm looking at all of these and the symbols are very clear. Confetti is kept to a minimum. Let me get back to the kittens though, because that has, let's take a look at those drills because those drills have a little bit more color to them. So again, 991, 991. So let's go ahead and open these drills. All right, this clear coating, that when it's this plastic, that drives me crazy. I need to get this open and get it done with before it starts driving me crazy. But here we have our drills, and the way that they're numbered is, again, you have the painting number on it. So for some reason, this gets separated from the rest of the drills. You know what picture it goes with. And it's going to tell you this is the number that it shows up on the sheet or the sticker. So number 1 is number 1 here. And it's going to tell us this is DMC 155, which is also there. What we need this for is to give us this little, it's the turnaround arrow image here, because that's going to be how it's listed, obviously, the symbol that it's listed on the canvas. Here's our 310s. Let me go ahead and just take a look here, because we know that 310 drills are, they're, I mean, quite honestly, 310s, 939s, the darker drills really make or break a canvas for, at least it does for me. If I have crappy dark drills and they're throwing the grid off and all this other stuff, it's just so frustrating. These look absolutely clean, like eat off the floor clean. You know, it's, I don't see any tabs. I don't see any trash. Here, same, even though it's on a darker drill, I'm not seeing any trash or tabs. I see one that's a different color, but that's to be expected. So yeah, the drills, and I have done, and I will tag this down in the description or at the end of the video, I've done a unboxing from Diamond Design Co. before, and I've done the drills on canvas test, if you will. That's where I take, excuse my reach, I take a section of the painting and I will do that. And I do it sort of as a second part of the unboxing, sort of as a review to talk to you a little bit more about, okay, I got into the drills, I've used some of the drills, let's talk about those a little bit more specifically. Let's talk about the glue, let's talk about the symbols, all the things. And I've done that before, so I know that Amy's quality is up to par. So I'm not going to do that in this instance. But let me find. So it looks like for each of these paintings, we do have. Looks like in each case we have 3 specials. So it looks like in each one we have a crystal, and then it looks like 2 dust drills. So let me find those. All right, I want to show you how I first saw these crystals. So this is how they were in the packet, okay? And let me just sort of lay these out. You got a darker tan, a tan, and then look at how look at how this crystal, this is sort of like a, I don't remember what 603 is. I'd have to look it up in my book. It's almost like a pink crystal, a very light pink crystal, but look at how that works with the regular drills. And then you have the purple dust, and then this white dust, 5200 white dust. I mean, when I was going through this, I was just looking, I'm like going, okay, where's my crystal? And I'm just like, oh man, that just, it works so perfectly. Sometimes you get crystals and they're just like way too dark or way too light, and it's like they're not going to blend in with the image sometimes. These are gonna blend perfectly. So crystals are they're the sort of clear like a crystal. They have a little tint of color typically, or a darker color. They do have this silver backing on it, and the whole point of that is when you put the drill on your canvas, because the drill is clear, you're not going to see the symbol or the color coming through from the canvas. So you have this little silver backing here. And then here's our two dust drills. 5200 is always a great dust drill. You know, it brings that the color white, but it doesn't bring the color white like it's, you know, veneers. You know, it's not, you don't get veneers, you get just nice a nice shimmer of white there. And then of course purples and blues are some of my favorite colors, and has a nice little iridescent coating on it. So dust drills, in case you are new to diamond painting, these have a coating of mica powder on the top of it, and that mica powder is typically a complementary color, the same or similar color to what the drill is. But so, like in this instance, the white stays white. In this instance, it looks to be, the mica powder seems to be a little silver-ish, still purple, still brings the purple through, but there's just a little silver touch to it. So if you look at the back of the drills versus the front of the drills or the top of the drills look a little bit lighter in color than the actual purple of the drills. And dust drills typically do that. It just sort of adds that sort of very subtle sparkle, but also can change the color just a little bit as well. Almost makes it match this color here a little bit with the dust drills. But these crystals, these are beautiful. I am discovering more and more colors in crystals that I haven't seen before, and they're each time it's amazing. So let me go ahead and for these three, let me find out where these crystals go. So this is going to be the lowercase t. Now typically I stop the video and find these, but I'm going to do this live in person with you because it's so much fun trying to find these symbols in paintings, but these are small enough. I think I could do it relatively quickly. So these crystals are going to be here. Let me bring it in just a little bit so you can see a little better. So in this ball and this ball here, there are, it's the lightest pink color. So you're going to have some nice special shine down here at the bottom, but rightly so. I don't see any in it's clearly a different color, but it's still pink, okay, the nose and the stuff. And sometimes, and the reason I want to point that out, sometimes with the budget companies, what they do is they say, all right, what drill do we have the most or the least or whatever, and what do we have a crystal or AB or whatever, the color that matches. And then they go, okay, everything on here that is this symbol is going to be a crystal. And suddenly you have crystals going into the kitten's ears and nose and stuff like that. And it just doesn't look great. So here we could tell that someone intentionally said, all right, let's not put a crystal up here because that may look a little bit ridiculous in the kitten's face, but we can go ahead and put it down here and it is going to work. There's even another pink ball over here, and there is no crystals over here, which again, it's nice because it sort of just brings, it makes the special drill special, that it's not everywhere on the canvas, right? All right, let me find, so this is going to be, there's a net or something in here and it's driving me crazy. This is Dust Drill 3837, and this is the capital H. So let me go through, and I can typically say, you know, find the color, but sometimes the colors, you know, the background color doesn't always match these perfectly, and that's fine. That's how it's supposed to be, but it is hard to sometimes find the drills, the placement on the fly. But this one is down here. It's the purple in the ball here. I don't see any in these other balls. No, nothing, 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 nothing. So it's going to be here. So you're going to have a nice little contrast here between the crystal and the way that the crystal sort of brings you into the image, and then this is just going to sort of diffuse you back out of the image. So that's some great placement there. And then finally we have the 5200. This is the check mark. So this is going to be, let me just make sure I don't see any up here. Okay, so here's sort of like the sunlight on the blanket. This is the blanket the kittens are laying on. So we have some right here at the top of the blanket. Then we have some here. It seems to be, this is the side of the kitten that looks to be a little white. And then we have some down here. So I'm going to call this as in the blanket. This is going to be the highlight of the blanket. And that's going to look great because you're going to have something that's stark white, so it's going to be lighter than the rest of the blanket, but it's going to be diffused. It's not going to be an AB because light shouldn't be reflecting, you know, light's not reflecting off of the blanket. It's just sort of there and it's bright and it's illuminated, and that's exactly what these dust drills are going to do. So like I said, each canvas has a special, 3 specials. So let's just look really quick. We have, in this one, we have a 310 crystal, which is here in the horse's harness. And I don't see that anywhere else. So that's going to be a nice sort of just making this, the harness, the bridle, whatever. Kristin's probably yelling at me right now going, it's called the, whatever it's called. But the part of the, on the horse's head here. Then we have 712, which is, let me see if it's anywhere else. So it's in the horse, and it seems to be, it's in the highlight of the horse. So we got some here, got some up here, over here, and then down the leg. Anywhere the sun is shining at the front of the horse here, or the top of the horse, it's going to be a little bit of, again, that here's a highlight, but it's not coming back at you. It's just diffused, it's illuminated, it's glowing a little bit. Then we have 733, which that is sort of this mid-green color in the grass. So we have it in the background where the sun is shining, right? So we have that around the horse here where it's shining. Plus we have it as a highlight in the grass down here. Because if we look at the image, we have grass behind the horse that is, you know, fully baked in the sun, bathed in the sun. And then in the front, we have some shadow, darker areas. So that's going to be up here. And then finally, let's go ahead and take a look at the puppy here. So our crystal 3862. Okay. The crystal seems to be in the fence here. Let me see. Yep, the fence and the woods back here, which that's going to be cool because crystals sort of it recedes the color, it brings you into the picture a little bit, so it's going to add some dimension back here. So anywhere that it's sort of the same, I'm going to say it's the medium brown of the fence and just a little bit back here of the woods. Then we have Industrial 402, and that's going to be, let me see, here's some. Now I know that I'm looking for sort of this light tan color. It seems like maybe this is it. It's this sort of light tan highlight in the grass. If I look at the image, it's sort of like the grass, it's sort of almost like the grass is just a little yellow there, or maybe it's like a little flower in the grass or something like that. So we just have a little bit right here. So that's going to be a nice little highlight. And then 3836, that's going to be up here in the woods. It's this lighter tan color. And it looks like that is it. So that's going to be up here as well. So you're going to have a nice contrast up here between the crystal in the woods and the fence, and then some dust drills up there. Now, you may be saying, well, Rich, this is not a lot of special drills. First of all, it's a 30 by 30, so you don't want to go too crazy. You know, I know that there's some canvases out there. Diamond Design Co. has some canvases out there that are all special drills, typically always all dust drills, but there's companies out there that do all crystal drills. It's not a special drill if it's all dust or all crystal, right? So we want to use these sparingly just to bring a little bit of a difference to the image. So 3 specials and a 30 by 30, I think that's reasonable. But then you could say, Rich, look at how few there is. You know, you only have a couple spots over here with the dog that has this dust in it. The crystals are only in the fence back here. The reason that you want to see that is that tells you that the placement is intentional. Again, some of the budget companies will just say, okay, anything that is 712, it's a dust drill. And all of a sudden you have like a little patch of dust drills up in the sky, or a little bit of patch over here, and it doesn't make sense. So these are really, the specials are really placed intentionally on the canvases. So that's shows you again that it's a quality product, and it is a attention to detail. So there you have it, Precious Pets from the Diamond Design Co. Again, we have the kittens, we have the horse, and then we have our little, I believe that's a beagle puppy. These are 3 30 by 30 canvases, square canvases. Kristin Block, known for her witches and stuff, actually, but I'm really enjoying the fact that she's coming out with more of her photography as well. And again, go ahead and I will link the the first time I looked at the Diamond Design Co. painting to talk a little bit about the drills on canvas review, about the quality of the drills, the glue, the symbols and stuff like that. I'll link that at the back, the end of the video, if you want to take a look at that to attest to the quality you're going to get. But this is releasing from the Diamond Design Co. Watch the Facebook group for the announcement of when this will be coming out. And shipping from Amy, it does not take long. Everything is made to order and drop shipped. So it will take a couple weeks, but it doesn't take months like some other stores that we may be ordering from. So I hope this helped give you a little look into this kit. If you have any questions, put it down in the comment section below. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to the channel for more of this information, plus everything diamond painting related and a little fun. So remember, I will talk to you the next time we are speaking of diamonds. Bye-bye.